Hello, anyone can hear me?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Thank you, thanks.
Recording in progress.
Hello, sir, can we start?
Yeah,
Hello,
sure.
ma'am. Uh, can we start now? Hello,
Sure, sir.
hello, sir. Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am. The good evening, and warm welcome to Confluence, uniting wisdom from every sphere. We are the December multidisciplinary national series brought by University at Platform Studies. I am your anchor for today, Lakush Hamid, and I am delighted to come to insightful journey. Now to commence our proceeding, let's extend a warm welcome to our Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management Studies, Ms. Jishna ma'am, who will grace us with this. Jishna ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am,
Is it audible?
yes,
Yes.
Good evening to all. A warm welcome to all to the third day of Multidisciplinary National Webinar Series, Prajna Confluence, Uniting Wisdom from Every Sphere. On behalf of Aspire College of Advanced Studies, I am Jishna, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, feeling extremely honored to welcome everyone to this webinar series. First of all, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rohit Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Christ Academy, Institute for Advanced Studies, Bangalore. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Secondly, Secondly, I welcome Respected Principal Rias EP, Vice Principal IQAC Sharada ma'am, and Vice Principal Academic Soumya ma'am to this wonderful session. Finally, yet importantly, I welcome all of you to this multidisciplinary national webinar series. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
thank you, Jishna. Now joining us for felicitation, our Head of Department of Commerce and Management Studies, Mr. Faisal sir. Over to you, sir. Sir Faisal sir. Sir,
Hello.
sir, sir.
Hello, hello. Okay, okay. Good evening to all, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, dignitaries, speakers, and participants. I stand before you today with immense joy and gratitude as we are in a journey of 7 days national webinar series titled Prajna Confluence Uniting Wisdom from Every Sphere. Actually, today marks day of the series. Today we gather to recognize and applaud a subject of paramount importance, green finance. In a world where sustainability is not just buzzword but a necessity, the strides made in this field deserve our utmost appreciation. Green finance represents more than just monetary transaction. It symbolizes a commitment to environmental stewardship, a recognition that our financial decisions will tremendous power in shaping the future of our planet. At this moment, I would like to congratulate the organizing committee, IQSC Aspire College of Advanced Studies, Trithala. All wishes for the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Faisal sir. Now let's prepare to delve into the heart of topic to introduce our estimated resource person for today. We have privilege of Mrs. Mini Ma'am, Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce and Management. Over to you, Miss Mini Ma'am. Mrs.
Am
Mini
I
Ma'am.
audible?
Yes, yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Kush. I'm audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening. I'm thrilled to introduce our distinguished resource person for this webinar. With an extensive background in green finance, Mr. Rohit Ravi not only brings 8 years of hands-on experience, but also demonstrated exceptional teaching prowess. He started his career as a guest lecturer of commerce in MES Kalladi College, Manarkad. Later, he worked in Rajagiri College of Social Science, Yuvakshetra Institute of Management Studies as an assistant professor and coordinator of BCom taxation. He was a former IQSC coordinator and head of Department of Commerce in Al-Shifa College of Arts and Science, Perindalmanna. He currently serving as an assistant professor, Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore, and pursuing PhD in Commerce at CMS College. In addition to notable teaching experience, he is a member in Indian Accounting Association and he has presented thought-provoking articles at various journals. He published 2 books named Principles of Taxation and Basics of Entrepreneurship and Management. He also presented insightful papers at various conferences, demonstrating a commitment to advancing knowledge and staying current with the latest development in commerce and management studies. Having imparted knowledge to countless individuals, he has a unique ability to make complex concepts accessible. Let's warmly welcome Mr. Rohit Devi as they guide us today's enlightening session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have the most awaited session lined up by Mr. Rohit Ravi, Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce, Christ Academy Institute of for Advanced Studies, Bangalore, providing us with a deeper understanding of the subject. Sir, we are glad to welcome with our hearts.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, please stop your screen sharing, then only I can share my screen. If you don't, yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Aspire College for Advanced Studies for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to share some basics idea of green financing and sustainability. So green finance or sustainable finance or green sustainability, it's a common term or it's used as a prefix for every concept or every ideologies like green finance, green marketing, or sustainable finance, sustainable marketing. And especially once the United Nations UN Sustainable Goals, they introduce the UN Sustainable Goals. In every terms, whether it's related with commerce or whether it's related with economics or management, it's the green or the sustainability emerged as a recent idea or innovative concept or new concept. So basically, or actually, this is not a new concept or something new or innovative one. It's around started in 18th century and all, but it's named or renamed as green sustainability. Actually, the concept of green or sustainability, it's a it's a marketing term, or it's these terms used as a marketing concept. Once, if there is a green or sustainability is there, people think that, yeah, it's something related with environment, or it's or those products or those institutions or industries that's not negatively affect to the environment. So that's the concept of green or sustainability, that's we added prefix to every terms or every names or terms. So green finance, it's a financing for environmental sustainability. So before moving to the green finance, we'll discuss about what's finance. Okay, finance is a common term that's we use in commerce management or in economics and all, and it's used in our day-to-day lives too. Okay, then what's financing? Normally, in the concept of finance, there are three parties. One is the people, that's the common man, and the other one is the bank, and the third one is the companies. One is people, and the other one is bank and companies. Normally, people, we invest our savings or we save our money into banks, and the banks or the financial institutions, they lend this money to the corporate houses or companies, and they return this amount or this money with an interest. This is the return, and this is the profit portion or the profit of every bank, and they functioning with using this profit. That's the common concept of financing, or this concept from the concept of financing the banks or the financial institutions, financial market instruments, all emerge with the term, or the core term is financing. Okay, so normally, the concept of financing is maximization of profit. That's profit maximization through using the monies or using their savings or investment. That's the traditional bank concept. It's maximization of profit, profit maximization concept. Later, the banks changed into that's traditional banks changed into the modern banks or modern concepts. That's modern banks concept, it's not as the sustainability. They introduced the concept of sustainability into the banking field. That's the core concept of modern banks, that the sustainability. Okay, so what's sustainable finance? Finance, it's basically it's accepting deposits or lending money. That's the core concept of every bank. Then what's sustainable finance? What's sustainability? That sustainable finance means investing into sustainable projects, that investing money into the sustainable project. So there are two terms, that's sustainable finance and sustainable projects are there. What sustainable project? How we identify the sustainable projects? There are n number of investment alternatives are there, because it's a developing country. India, it's a developing country. We have n number of investment avenues or opportunities as are there. So we have to identify the sustainable project or sustainable investment alternatives. So what's sustainable project or sustainable alternatives, and what's sustainable finance? That's the core. Okay, so sustainable finance is investing into sustainable projects, and sustainable finance refers to this the definition, but it includes some core ideas. That's what I include this definition. Sustainable finance, it refers to the process of taking environmental, social, and governance, that ESG concept. That's the process of taking environmental, social, and governance consideration in account when making investment decision in the financial sector, and linking to more long-term investment in sustainable economic activities and projects. So there are three terms as other. That's ESG concept or ESG framework. That's environmental, social, and governance. And taken into consideration, of environmental factors, social factors, and governance factors when making investment decisions. So, what's investment decision in the financial sector? There are different decisions. Managerial decisions are the investment decisions, capital decisions, then like that. So, investment decisions that investing into long-term projects that include the investment decisions in financial sector. Normally, when the industries or big business houses or corporate houses, they have to invest their, or they, if suppose they want to start a new business or new venture, or they try to expand their business, they need fund or they need money. They approach the financial institutions, especially banks, and the banks or these financial institutions provide money to start new business and to start new ventures. So that's called the investment decisions, or the investment decisions and linking to more long-term investment. Of course, these investments are for long-term, and while giving or while providing finance to those investment decisions, or while providing financial assistance to those industries or those multinational companies, the banks or the financial institutions, they consider the environmental factors, the social factors, and governance factors of those projects or those investment decisions. So that's the concept of sustainability finance. And they lend more long-term investment into sustainable economic activities and projects. So basically, they screen each and every aspects of the projects or the investment decisions, whether it's affect to the negatively affect to the environment, and they consider the social factors of those projects and consider the governance factors of the project, that they consider the ESG framework or ESG considerations. And once they clear all these aspects, then only the financial institutions supports to the business houses. That's once they clear all these environmental, social, and governance considerations. So that's called the sustainable financing. Okay, so the history of sustainable finance, that's the history of finance starts on 15th century, and the concept of sustainable finance start in 18th or 17th century. Normally the financial sector or the financial sustainable financing or green financing, the concept, basic concept of sustainable financing or financing starts in Italy. In Italy, the banks or the financial institutions, they run by the Christian missionaries, and they started screening the projects or the screening the investment alternatives. So once this start the screening, they set a cap on interest rate. That's the level. They fix a cap on interest rate. That's cap, the maximum rate of interest. That's the cap rate. And follow strict ethical guidelines. They follows the ethical guidelines, like whether the investment alternatives or the project or the proposals follows the ethical guidelines or the ethical standards. The ethical standards includes whether these projects negatively affect to the environment, or whether it's negatively affect to the society, or it's harmful to the society, like that. So they follow strict ethical guidelines for screening the project, and no lending for luxury expenditure. If they are stopped lending the money for luxury expenditure, if the expenditure or those investment is something related with for luxury, they stop the lending money, and they act socially responsible institution, or they act as a socially responsible bank. So these are the history of sustainable finance, and it starts on the 15th century. And later, in 16th and 17th century, the commercial business loans or the financial institutions or the commercial business loans with cheaper debt. That's the financial institutions offers commercial business loans with cheaper debt. So it leads to the economic growth or the economic development of the nation. Okay, so in 16th century, it's led to the industrialization or the economic growth of our nation because it's the beginning stage of industries, and in the commercial bank or the financial institutions, they offers commercial business loans with cheaper debt. So that's led to the economic growth of the nation. And at the same time, in the 18th century, the national and the international financing, that's the banks or the financial institutions, that's divided into two categories. That's the first one, national and international financial institutions, and the other one is regional banks or local financial institutions. So the national and international financial institutions, they offers or they focus on the multinational lending. They offers or they support to the multinational industries or they finance for huge investments or yeah, huge investment alternatives. And the regional banks or the cooperatives, now it's regional banks or the cooperative banks, they offers local financing. So the credit unions that's supporting local business, they are the socially responsible investment. They support to the society. They support for small investments. They support for the small scale industries. That's the socially responsible investments. That's the credit unions. And the credit unions, later it's the cooperative societies or the cooperative banks. Now the cooperative societies and cooperative banks more supporting to local business and economic development or the social development of a particular region or locality. So they more focus on socially responsible investment or socially responsible investment alternatives. And then the traditional banks for change as a multinational bank, and the same times credit unions focus on the local development. Then it arises a problem like people started criticizing the environmental destruction policies of multinational banks because the multinational banks, they offer financial support for long-term investments or they offer financial assistance to multinational companies. So at that time, they are not considering the environmental destruction, that there's no screenings are there. They in that time the people started criticizing the multinational banks or the banks, like they are not considering the environmental policies or environmental restrictions while offering financial support or loans to the loans to the multinational institutions. And in 80s, these banks stepping into the concept of sustainability, and it started with the environmental risk screening. That's the initial stage of uh, this sustainable financing. The financial institutions, they started screening the environmental risk screening of each and every project. So environmental screening includes that they stop those projects or those investment alternatives, whether if it's negatively affect to the environment or if it's negatively affect to the society. So if it's a project or if the investment alternative it's negatively or adversely affect to the environment or negatively affect to the society, once they identify that it's once the risk in this process of risk screening, they stop the financial support to those kind of project or those kinds of investment alternatives. So that's the initial stage of sustainable financing. That's the environmental risk screening. And later, in 1987, UN report they out the report and they introduced United Nations environmental programs, that's finance initiatives, and it's promote linkage between sustainability and financial performance. That's United Nations. Actually, United Nations in UN, they have an inevitable role in introducing the sustainable financing or introducing the concept of sustainability into the finance, commerce, and management. So, United Nations environmental programs that promote its linkage between the sustainability and the financial performance. And they start, and it's a legal framework for the integration of environmental, social, and governance issues into the institutional investments. That's they created or they frame a started or the draft legal framework for the integration of environmental, social, and governance issue. That's ESG framework. So, ESG, environmental, social, and governance issues into institutional investments. That's the if the financial institutions or the financial agencies, if they support multinational companies, if they offer financial support to the multinational companies, the United Nations UN draft a framework for integrating how to integrate this environmental, social, and governance issues into the institutional investment. And later, the sustainable finance, that's the framework of United Nations. And the concept or the sustainable finance spectrum, it's covered into four steps or four stages. That's the level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. There are four levels of sustainable financing. So the first one is level 0. So the first one, it's the profit driven financing. That's those investment avenues or investment alternatives if they have the uh, future return, adequate future returns, or the profit driven if the alternative or the investment avenues, if there is a profit driven avenue. Okay, fine. The financial institutions or the financial agencies, they are ready to offer funds or the financial support to those avenues or those alternatives. That's the first one, profit-driven financing. There is no environmental screening. There is no ESG framework. There is no UN policies and all. That's the level 0. And later, the level 1, that's the ESG risk management. So in the second stage, that the ESG risk management, the financial institutions, they started screen out the risky investments. So the risky investment, they considers whether those investments negatively affect the environment, society, or governance. They start rejecting those investment alternatives. So that's the first level, that's the ESG risk management. And the second one, the level 2, that the sustainable impact investing. So in the first stage, they screen out or they wipe out the risky investment, or if the investment it's whether if it's negatively affected the society, or they will wipe out those, they screen out those investments. And in the level 2, they started investing into sustainability or profit driven investments. That's the level two, sustainable impact investing. That's the sustainability and profit driven investment. That's the financial institutions or the agencies or the banks. They started investing into sustainable and profit driven investments. Whether those investments have any kind of positive impact to the society or positive impact to the environment or governance. So they started investing in those kinds of investment alternatives or projects. They have sustainability and profit driven investment. And the other one is level three, that's the impact first investment. They considers the social and environmental interest over profit. See the difference. In level one, if the investment avenues or the investment alternatives are profit driven, if they create adequate return or profit, okay, then the financial institutions, they are ready to offer fund or the support to those agents or those uh, multinational companies. But in the third stage, they consider social and environmental factors of a profit. The profit, it's a secondary thing. They starts considering the social and environmental factors rather than the profit. So that's the impact first investment. Then, and the last one, it's the level four, it's the advanced stage of level three, that's the sustainable philanthropy. And in the fourth level, it's considered as the profit is designated for social environmental solutions. Whether the investment it's have some kind of social commitments or environmental commitments, okay, fine. So that's sustainable philanthropy. So the spectrum of sustainable finance or the stages of development of sustainable finance, it start from profit-driven financing, and then later it's ESG, then sustainable investment, and considering social and environmental factors our profit, and then the last one is sustainable philanthropy. This is the spectrum of sustainable finance or the stages of sustainable finance. Okay, then why sustainable financing or the benefits of sustainable finance? So if our project or if the project or the financial investment alternative, it's clear the sustainable screening or ESG screening, it helped to avoid the legal and financial risk. There are legal policies, legal frameworks, legal issues, legal risks are there once we started investing into different projects. Once we started in a new project or new firm or something, it's legal issues are there. Once our project, it's clear the sustainable screening, it helped to avoid the legal or the financial risk. That's the first one. It helped to avoid the legal or the financial risk of our investment. And of course, it's create or it increase the uh, employees or the customer satisfaction. Yeah, the finance, this investment opportunity or this business firm, their project or their investment avenue, it's clear the sustainable development goals or the ESG framework, it's increased the satisfaction of customers as well as the employees of the organization. That's the important one. It's clear. It increase the employees' satisfaction and customer satisfaction. Automatically, it makes money and it's increased the brand value of the firm. Yeah, uh, that's I already mentioned that the green sustainability. It's a marketing concept. Purely, it's a marketing concept. It's increased the brand value of the product. It increased the customer loyalty. Of course, it create money. Yeah, that's the concept, make money. So it increase the brand value. Okay, then ESG criteria. What's ESG framework or what's ESG criteria? How we screen the uh, our projects or the investment alternatives in the ESG criteria, whether it's clear the environmental factors, whether it's clear the social factors or governance factors and all. Okay, what's ESG criteria? In ESG criteria, it covers different items. First, in the environmental factors, it includes the usage of energy. Whether our project or our financial investment alternative, it's use the normal, that's energy usage of our energy. That's whether natural resources, that usage of energy, and the waste management, how we are going to manage our waste. Suppose a multinational company, they are starting a new firm, how they manage their wastage, whether it's in e-waste, it's an e-waste or other kind of waste, how they are going to manage their e-waste, whether it's negatively affect to the environment. Okay, so that's the waste management. And the treatment of animals, how they treat the animals, or whether it's negatively affect to the animals. That's the environmental factors. The first one, environmental screening. Then the second one is social factors. Of course, the employees, customers, suppliers, community. That's the area where the business operate are the local community. So the business firm or the organizations must consider the social factors, the employees' working condition, their working condition of the organization, whether they paid well or their mental happiness. That's the first one, employees' working condition. Then relationship with suppliers. What kind of relationship with the suppliers? Whether we offer adequate financial support, credit facilities, and all to our suppliers. And of course, what kind of relationship with our customers? If the organization or if the business firms, they don't have a good rapport with their customers, they can't survive. Okay, so what's the relationship with what kind of relationship with the customers? That's a relationship with local community. How the business firms or how this investment alternative uh, a relationship it's any what kind of relationship with the local community. So this comes into the social category. So the first one is environmental factors, and the second one is social factors, and the third one is governance factors. Governance factors are related with the accounting transparency. That's the commerce people knows very well the accounting transparency, whether the financial statements are prepared, maintained well, whether they follows the accounting rules, accounting standards, and all, and whether they follows the Indian accounting standards or international financial reporting standards and all. So the accounting transparency, whether the accounting transparency is though. Then whether they conduct auditing, that's this checking of financial statements, proper checking of financial statement is that's the uh, auditing. And risk management, whether they manage the risk very well. And the shareholders, right? The shareholders are the owners of business. If they are the equity shareholders, they are the owners of the business. So, what's the shareholders' right? Whether the firms properly distribute the dividend to the shareholders. So the what's the right of shareholders? So this is the ESG criteria. So once the business firms or the multinational firms submit a project proposal or investment proposal, the financial institution screens all these items or elements, environmental, social, governance, everything. And once the screening of all and they clear all these criteria, That's the ESG criteria. Okay. Okay. So the next one is ESG network. We says that ESG criteria and ESG screenings are there. So who will screen this project? Or is there any institutions or agencies are there for screening this in ESG that's environmental criteria? The first one is the Principle for Responsible Investment, that's PRI. Around 2,000 banks and investors are comes into this category, and they integrate ESG issues in investment and practices. They have their own tools, guidelines, and documents to screen these investment alternatives, and they have case studies, and they have collaborative engagement opportunities with different institutions. That's the important agency. That's the principles of responsible investment. And the other one is Global Impact Investing Network, that's GIIN. That's 218 members are there, and the Impact Investing Sustainable Financing and Global Alliance for Banking on Values. This is another agency, that's Global Impact Investing Network. And this is the Equator Principle, and this is the common a rule or the ESG implementation framework that assessing or identifying or managing the risky or the environmental factors or ESG factors of every project. So they identify the environmental, social, and governance factors, they assess the factors, and they manage and environmental and social risks of every investment alternatives. That's the identify, assess, and manage. That's the equator principle. So they have the transparency of reporting. The banks or the financial institutions, they have to report the investment alternatives to the empowering sustainable decisions to the agencies, industries, and all. So this is all about the sustainability, sustainable financing, or the uh, sustainable concept. Okay, so the next one is green financing. That's sustainability. Green financing, it's a part of sustainable financing. Sustainability, it's a wider term, but green financing, it's a part of the sustainable financing. Okay, what's green financing? Okay, so green financing increase the level of financial flow from banking, microcredit, insurance, investment, these are the financial institutions. So green financing is to increase level of financial flow from the public, private, and non-profit sectors to the sustainable development priorities. That means the financial institutions or the financial agencies, they started prioritizing their investment alternatives, that's the sustainable development priorities. Green finance increase the level of financial flows. It increase the flow of financing from banks or microcredit insurance and investment from the public and private and non-for-profit sectors, that's sustainable development priorities. That's the public or the financial institutions started investing into non-profit sectors to the sustainable development priorities. So this this is the term that's it's the definition by United Nations Environmental Program. So those it's helped to manage the environmental risk, and it's take up opportunities that provide the environmental benefit, and it create or it provide a decent rate of financial return to the institutions. So the green finance, the advantages of green finance includes its green investment, and it's green industry, green life, green technology, green energy, and it creates a competitive knowledge of economy and sustainable environmental and value to the natural resources. That's the it's indicate the green investment. That's the investment or the project have some kind of environmental. They concern to the environment. They concern to the society. They concern to the uh, governance factors and green industries. The industry or the company concerned to the society or environment, green life and green technology and energy. And it's a competitive knowledge of economy and its sustainable environment and value to the natural resources. That's value to the natural society and our natural resources. They concern to the environment. And it's create the social development and quality of life. And of course, it enhance the quality of life. It increase the quality of life of people automatically with the social development. Concern they focus on the social development along with the quality of life of people. And they sustainably use the resources. They use the resources sustainably and clean energy and climate action, the institutions that's not negatively or harmfully affected, or they not any kind of pollutions, climatic actions and all. It's clean energy and climate action. So that's the green finance, advantages of green finance. Automatically, if there's advantages, there are some disadvantages are though. It's comparatively risky investment and payback period is too long. The commerce people knows the what's payback period. That's the time required to return the investments. So compare it in green finance, green alternatives, the investment, the cost of investment is too high and the risk is also too high. Automatically, the payback period it's too long. And profitable projects are lacking when the people or the industries are more concerned of the society or more concerned of the environment. It's lacking to the profitable projects. Yeah. And data is not available and its cases are unclear because in the initial stage they says that yeah, our industry or our project it will not affect negatively affect to the society or it will not negative harmfully affect to the environment at all, but later the picture they will change the picture and this it's negative it started to the negatively affect to the environment and all. So the data is not available and the cases are the majority of the cases are unclear, and the comparatively the technological risks are very high, and the risks are high and the client's confidence it's low because the we are more concerned about the society, environmental, social factors, and all. It's reduced the confidence of clients, and the transaction comparatively costly. And still, it's the sustainability and the green finance. It's not a new concept, but still the people or the public they don't have that much of awareness about the sustainability, the concept of sustainability. And there is a lack of leadership. Yeah, of course, United Nations is the agency that more and they frequently speaks about the sustainability goals and sustainability concept. But still, there is a lack of leadership. Is there? And there is a lack of government interventions. Still, government interventions are there, but still, there's lack of leadership. And that's the solution. We need a policy framework from the part of banks or the financial institutions. And it's the policy framework that's clear policy framework that's uh, designed by the government or the banks or the financial institutions or the apex authorities. So the first one is policy framework and technological risk. Still, the technology, we know the technology, it's upgrading day by day, it's changed day by day. So it's identifying the technological risk, it's quite risky. So, technological risk identification, we need to conduct more research into risk identification in the field of technology. And still, insufficient informations are there, so need to more or full disclosure of and full disclosure related with the business or our investment avenue. If we hide something, it will negatively affect to the society, automatically negatively affect to the uh, environment. And the maturity mismatch, insurance companies and pension funds, they have a vital role. They can perform a vital role to maturity mismatch into the risk reduction, to reduce the risk in related with investment. So the maturity mismatch, the insurance company, they can save or they can protect the fund or the pension fund, the institution, they can investment their money into into the pension schemes and all. It will help to the help to save the social factors or automatically it reduce the maturity mismatch. So these are the about the solution for the risk of green financing. And automatically, social financing, it's a category of financial service. Yeah, in the financial system, there are subcomponents are there like financial market, financial institution, financial instruments, financial services. In social finance, it's a category of financial service which aim to leverage private capital to address challenges in the area of environmental needs. That's investing into or aim to leverage or to increase the private capital to address challenges in the area of social and environmental needs. If there's uh, it's the area or something related with the social issue or some if need to address the social issue or social challenge or environmental challenge, the it's lead to or aim to leverage the private capital, not the public capital, not the government investment. It's leverage the private capital into the address the challenges in the area of social and environmental needs. So it includes the investing in education related with healthcare and inequality and the poverty elevation, food securities. All those things are connected with United Nations. That's education, healthcare, reducing inequality, elevating poverty and food securities, and all. So this organization, social economic organization, many social economic organizations are there. It's related with the charity institutions, social enterprises, social entrepreneurs, then foundations are there, non-government organizations are there. So it's all related with the social economic organization, but still the social financing, private capital are there, but still according to green finance or sustainability, the profit is secondary, but still these institutions, according to their point of view, the profit is the primary. Investing into education, healthcare, all those things, it's their major aim or the primary aim, it's making money or profit. But in social financing, according to the social financing concept, they are address the challenges of the society. They have to address the challenges of the society. Okay, so the methods of creating funds, the institutions, they can create funds through their membership fee, subscriptions, donations. That's the non-government organization. They subscription, they offer membership fees and the subscriptions are there, donations are there, and the grants are there. That's the non-repayable funds that's offered by government. Then corporate foundations are there. So they offer the grants or the institutions, they offer grants and other financial support. And the debt financing, of course, banks will offer the finance support. They can sell their shares, they can exchange of funds are there. So these are the creating funds for the social financing or the social yeah, for the social financing. So this all about the social finance into investing into socially responsible activities like education, healthcare, and reducing inequality, elevating properties, and all. So we started with the sustainability and United Nations sustainable goals and all, and we ends with the social capital, and uh, it's a wider term. Of course, it covers different concepts. Of course, the United Nations, there are 17 sustainability goals. It covers the all the sustainable activities and all the sustainable elements. And this actually the finance, commerce, management, economics, everything it covers under this term or the concept. So this finance or the green finance, green marketing, green technologies, green investment, everything it's related with the United Nations sustainable goals, and it's quite more popular nowadays. That's all. So I hope you got the basic idea about the social financing and sustainable development financing, sustainable financing, and green financing. If you have any queries or any questions, yeah, it's the sessions is open for discussion.
Hello, sir. I am Lavkush. I have a doubt
Yeah,
that
please.
what are the challenges that have to face in environmental sustainability?
Yeah, these are the main challenges, and there are some solutions. Other first one, it's a policy framework. That's still we are working on the policies related with the financial green financing or the green investment. And of course, the technological challenges are there, and the institutions they are not ready to disclose all the information related with their business. Yeah, they have to submit a lot of documents while started into a new project, but still they are hiding the informations that harmfully affect the investment alternative. So these are the major risks, and this risk up to a limit we can avoid this risk with a proper policies and guidelines. I think so. So the proper policy making it's the important factor for this sustainable reducing the risk related with the sustainable finance.
As now sir said, then how can an investor find a good company to invest? Was he have to look on something about the background and the details of the company? So how can he get most of its profit from its investment if we are looking for investment?
If we are looking as a shareholder, we have looking for investment. Of course, we have many datas out there, but yeah, they are in the stage, initial stage, they have to submit different documents or different reports and are related with the environmental ESG framework and all. But in the point of view of the investor, in the point of view of banks, they have to screen the investment alternatives. According to a normal investor or shareholder, then it's not need to screen the project because it's already screened by the financial institutions.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone who have any doubts or queries regarding this subject? They can ask now. It's a golden opportunity to clear your doubts and curiosity directly interacting with Ravi. So is there anyone?
Sir,
Yeah, please.
can you hear?
Yeah, please.
Uh, The one of the objective of this green financing is equality.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Uh, then they mainly, but banks, this national level banks are providing financial facilities to companies, even they not looking their profitability. But when the case of farmers, they are not. They reject the providing financial facilities. It's against equality.
Of course, in the ESG social factors, it's an important concern of important factor of while screening the financial alternatives. But of course, the multinational banks, they focus on the investing into long-term projects and long-term investment alternatives. But in the case of short-term project and the local development and all the cooperative societies, cooperative banks, and regional rural banks. Those banks, they are focused on the rural development or the agricultural development and all. So they don't have that kind of screening and all. If it's related with the agriculture or something related with the society, of course they offer the loans, but still it's quite risky nowadays to get loan for agriculture purpose and all, but still, okay, the normal financial, that's local financial agencies are there to support the farmers and all.
Which, sir,
Yeah,
I have
please.
one question.
Mhm. Yeah, please.
In case of Vijay Mallya, what happened? It is not a screening.
Of course, there are negatives as are there. If the screenings and all, still the problems as are there for this ESG criteria and all. This for screening, yeah, that's what I said. The screening and all, still they hide the information and they change the picture and they change the face in the initially they wear the mask like this our project it's purely for environment, it's for society and all, and they later they remove the mark and they show the real face. That's what happened nowadays. Only the authorities can change the control these things, we can't do anything.
So one question go.
Yeah.
In case of Coca-Cola, it's backed from the local society due
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, please.
is it financed by banks?
Of course, they are financed by banks, but in that time, the ESG criteria and all that's they are only focused on the profit part. Later, it's changed into ESG criteria. Later, they started concerned the environmental, social, and factors. Yeah, in the initial stage, they only concerned about the profit. If the investment alternative, they have the profit, okay, fine. They are ready to offer the financial support. But later, once it started negatively affecting to the environmental and social, then they realized the risk and they started thinking and they introduced these criteria and all. Yeah, the framework and alls, they revise this framework and alls by in a periodic manner.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there anyone who have doubt or any queries regarding this subject? So now as we embark on this knowledge-filled journey, it's an essential to express our gratitude Joining me extending a sincere vote of thanks, the head of Department of Economics, Miss Rajni ma'am, who will bring our session to a close with heartfelt acknowledgement. Ma'am, Rajni
Thank
ma'am.
you, thank you, Lekut. Is it audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed resource person, Mr. Rohit Revi, sir, for sharing valuable insights with us today. Your enriching presentation have broadened our perspectives and deepened our understanding to the subject. We appreciate your time, dedication, and wealth of knowledge you have imparted. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being an inspiration to us all. Now, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude towards our principal, Ria sir, for permitting to conduct such a wonderful session. I take this opportunity to specially express my thanks towards IQAC Vice Principal Charda Ma'am to organizing such an event, and I would like to convey my gratitude towards Academic Vice Principal Soumya Ma'am for her incredible support. On behalf of our team, I extend heartfelt gratitude for your active participation in today's webinar. Your enthusiasm and engagement have made this event truly remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's make the most of this opportunity to learn, engage, and explore the basis of green finance, financing for environmental sustainability. Thank you for being a part of Prajna Confusions, where wisdom covers from every sphere. And thank you for everyone, including our principal Ria sir and Sharda ma'am, and every teachers and students, and especially our and Mr. Rohit sir, Rohit sir, and that's why I'd like to thank you for everyone. Stay with us. See you soon.
Thank you, Team Aspire, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to interact with you all. Especially thank you to Uwais and Krishna, my friends, and the principal and vice principals of Aspire College of Advanced Studies and all the faculty members. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Good night.
Thank you, sir.